What is up, ladies and Dogs? I have amazing news. We are negotiating peace, so I'm going to tell you everything that's happened in the world. Yeah, let's get to it. So right here, I've added something new. It's called this is the Eurozone. The Eurozone was a pain in our behind because it prevented the Lego Drew expansion into more H-Town territory because it's independent. It's in multiple sections. If we wanted to expand farther, we had to enter neutral territory, which we didn't want. That would provoke a war. So we just let them go, and we just did a bombing campaign to make the land more flat, which definitely did not enter Eurozone land, bomb Eurozone territory. Definitely not. Spoiler alert, it did. But H-Town's offensive to get to our capital succeeded, unfortunately, and they just surrounded our capital. Like, they surrounded it. But as you can see, it kind of stretched their supply lines a little long. And Riggs Crossing, that they did, and which is like right here, which is like right there, kind of messed up their plans because the supply lines were hard, and all we needed to really do was just retake that, which we were pretty easily able to do, kind of cutting their forces in two. And this area, the area around our capital, had no supply, but they fought hard. Retaking our capital was longer than retaking the retaking our capital was longer than retaking this little bulge right there. We were able to retake that sucker in days because they just fled it. The only thing that really we had trouble with in this area was the retreating forces, but the area around our capital slowly but surely surrendered, and we finally retook it. Now that was 15k men that H-Town just lost, and they knew they had to get an offensive start going. That was pretty good. They made a terrible mistake of overthrowing the leadership of the French Eurozone. And yeah, if you know anything about the French, they love to protest. And you know what else the French love to do? Revolution. The French revolted, split in two, and one side was pro us, the other side was pro H-Town. Now the pro us side was larger, so we were finally able to invade more territory in H-Town. Finally, H-Town needed to win this. If H-Town wanted to succeed, they needed to win this revolution. They needed to win the Civil War in the French Eurozone, which is still going on, by the way, at the time of the peace treaty, which we are currently discussing peace. But yeah, they came up with a brilliant idea to push back the Federation, which was pretty locked in after losing the Civil War. They were locked in. So they put their best general in charge, and yep, we could tell it was their best general because he absolutely annihilated us. And we wish he was there. He split the forces directly in half, making supply lines even harder, because right here was the only supply route, so they had to go that way or that way. Pretty much, and they then cut off that area, pretty much forcing the others in this area to retreat, allowing them to retake that area and boosting morale. and H-Town. We did not like that. We knew we had to do an offensive that was just as good, but this is when they were absolutely, like, cooking. So they, like, surrounded areas, but they tried to launch an offensive in this area. We did not let them. We didn't let them. No, we didn't let them at all. Because if they did, that's bad. Now people at the nuclear facility were holding out as best as they could, and we knew we had to aid them before they were screwed. And also, not just the nuclear facility was there, the training camp. We launched an offensive, which actually worked to help them, which allowed us to retake our vital areas. Now we realized it was kind of back and forth. So the Federation of Fascists was like, "Hey guys, this is kind of back and forth. You guys should start negotiating peace talks." And we were like, "No, absolutely not." And then the communists were like, "Do it or we stop trade." And that made Lego Drew leave the war. That was Lego Drew would love their trade. They have the best economy. They stopped fighting. They were starting negotiating peace with H-Town. We just had to get one more dub so we could potentially gain land. So our best general in this, like, I guess, large enclave launched a super duper massive offensive to gain a bunch of H-Town land, but actually that ended up oofing a ton of our soldiers, and it was kind of bad. H-Town realized that we were probably negotiating next, and they wanted to negotiate for some land also. They just destroyed the Federation of Felines. But then we started negotiating peace, and we are ceasefiring to do a top secret science mission project, which is so top secret that the Dog Empire communists have to literally be around me to make sure I don't say anything about it. Like, they have, like, so many soldiers here that, like, if I say anything about it, they are going to, like, destroy me. But yeah, that's the war currently. After we get the peace whole thing situated, I might release some classified information they're not letting me say here, but yeah. So hopefully we get peace, hopefully we gain land, hopefully H-Town finally stops, like, doing, like, this entire war. So yeah, that's the war.